Hello and welcome again. Hello and welcome again to training tutorial. In this episode, I'll primarily show you how to review trips data in excess of 24 hours, into excess of 24 hours, or beyond that period of time. So it's it's pretty straightforward. As you know, this is your vehicle listing on this side here. Alright, so if you want to review historical data for greater than 24 hours, the simplest way to do so is by simply clicking on this filter icon right here. Click on the filter, you go to history. In the vehicles field, you can search for your vehicle or vehicles. In this particular case, you can I'll just select one vehicle. In this instance, I'll select GL3623. The date period for which you would like to review the historical data for, it could be over a particular period, a number of days, or just a single particular day. For this instance, we will just review for a particular day, which will be on the 18th. You select the start and the end date, and once this is done, you go ahead, you click on filter. Now, once the information is put forward, two things happens. One, you first on a map, you get a visual in terms of the actual route driven for this particular date by the vehicle on the right here, and on the left you will come across the vehicle number. So to get the breakdown of the individual trips, just by simply clicking on the vehicle, the system is populated with the most recent trip for the day listed at the top, and at the bottom the earlier trip listed. As you can see here, the first route trip started at 9:10 on the 18th of December and concluded at 10:13. Distance traveled of 27.3 kilometers and the duration of 1 hour 3 minutes. As again we did with the other trips data, it's pretty straightforward. You simply click on the eye and the information is loaded up. As you can see, you have a visual and a map here with the trips data. You can see the starting point, idle points, reporting points, exact route driven until the trip comes to conclusion at this particular point. Again, the concluding part of the trip is listed at the top of the table here, and the start of the trip is listed at the bottom of the table. As you can see, this trip started at 9:10 again, GPS coordinates, and you also have this ignition status. So you can simply click along these points again. There's an idle stop condition, idle stop condition, idle stop condition again, and these are all reporting points as you progress along. Again, you get your charts, which was discussed in the previous session, and you have your driver behavior charts as well. Nevertheless, this is what it looks like to review historical data. So you have the starting time of the trip, ending time of the trip, the time stayed at the ending point of the trip, and then the start of a new trip again, which would have been at 10:50, concluded at 11:47 with its location and GPS coordinates, distance and time as well. Again, simply clicking on the eye loads the trip data up, so you will get the detail listed on the table in the table format, starting point of the trip, reporting points of the trip as you move along the way. Alright, stops again, and then of course you can view the trips data just by simply moving, navigating along. As you can see, it went up to this point and the trip has concluded in this location. So simply put it, that's how the trip data is reviewed. I can then simply click on this icon. I can go to today just to get a live view again, and there we go. We're back to live view. Now to select trips on multiple days, I'll do the same thing again. I go to history, select the vehicle. In this case, I'm just going to keep it to the same one. I'm going to review historical data for last week from the 10th to the 12th. Sorry, from the 10th, like the starting date, to the 12th, the ending date. This is like 10, 11, 12, 3 days. Then here we go again. The history or the travel summary of the vehicle routing is showed up on a map in its granular format. Simply click on the vehicle again. And sorry, there's just an error that came up. Let me just reload this. So I'm just going to do this again. History, vehicles. I'm just going to select the vehicle, GL 3623, 10 to the 12th, filter. History is loaded up. And historical data is loaded in terms of the trips. Again, the starting point of the trip on the 10th, the starting trip on the 10th would have been at 8:03, concluded at 10:13, 45.4 kilometers. Click on the eye. The individual trip is loaded up on the portal. As you can see here, it's all reporting points, starting point of the trip. And this is what we progressed along the way. Right, so as you can see, the trip concluded at this particular location. This is trip 1, and there are identifiers for the trips. Trip 1, trip 2, and indicated by the date as well too. Trip 3 on the 10th, trip 4, trip 5, trip 6 on the 11th, trip 7, trip 8, trip 9, and this goes on. Just by simply clicking it, the trip is loaded up again onto the portal. So simply put it, that's the way you retrieve historical data. You click on the filter icon again, you go to today, leave everything as it is, and you click on filter, and you're back to a live view. Thank you.